The following is a Hoop Ball presentation.
Hello and welcome to the Hoop Ball NBA DFS Today podcast. Today is Sunday, October 6th, which is also my beautiful daughter Lindsay's 20th birthday. So happy birthday, Lindsay. I am Joe Sarvadi, affectionately known as Coach, and my usual partner in crime, Mike Apotria, is having some technical difficulties. So I am joined by the one and the only king of fantasy basketball, the dubious Dan Besbris. How are you, Dan?
Dubious. I'm all right, man. Hey, happy birthday to your daughter. I can't believe she stuck with you for 20 years.
I know I'm on thin ice, but I'm hanging in there. So
I'm just here to watch, man. I want to take in all that you've got to offer.
Oh, wow. Well, that's
okay. Maybe not all. Part of what you got to offer.
And it's a one-game slate. Man, that's a pretty hefty tag there. But we'll get it done, man. I want to make sure. I appreciate you jumping on because we promised our listeners we're going to be on every day. We're 7 days a week. We're covering the entire preseason. We've had 2 phenomenal nights to start out, which is awesome. And now that I think about it, Dan, I think this might have been hijinxed and technically messed up by Apotria on purpose.
Oh, why? Why is that?
Well, you know what happened. He lost our first big head-to-head challenge.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. Yeah, he's ducking you, Coach.
He's ducking me. LeBron Curry, I win. So in the chicken soup challenge, he is down 1-0. So, it was one of those where the cell phone is, I'm losing you. I can't hear you. I get it.
What's the chicken soup challenge? Fill me in.
Oh, well, we're keeping score, and then when we get to the All-Star break, whoever's winning, we're doing a live All-Star show on air, and the person that's losing at the time, which will be Mike, has to wear an actual chicken suit live on the air for our entire podcast.
Oh, stellar. So I'm just gonna ask the dumb questions today, and then that'll that way I can really represent myself well on DFS today.
No, man, we know that you are a DFS student in making.
Yeah,
you're the king of fantasy, and Mike and I are trying to be the kings of DFS. So we want to bring you over to the good side, the force,
the good side of the. So how have things gone so far? Because you've had two DFS cards to break down, right? A 1-gamer and a 3-gamer.
We've had 2, and we both cashed both days.
Nice.
Gave out some good winners. Had phenomenal feedback on Twitter. So we're off to the races, man. We've been saying, all along, success occurs when opportunity meets preparation. As you know. We posted a bunch of shows in preseason talking about all the player moves, all the trades, draft, summer league, FIBA, you name it. We've reviewed it and folded it into how we're preparing ourselves for DFS. And so far, so good, man. But we can I wanted to say, too, before we get rolling, that our presenting sponsor is Fantasy Draft, and they are the only rake-free fantasy site that's out there. They're phenomenal. They have a 500,000 Hooters contest going today. They have some late slate action as well. So definitely go to fantasydraft.com, put in the promo code HoopBall, and go with the 7-day free trial and get it going. So we're ready, man. The game today starts at 5 Central Time, and it is Charlotte at Boston. And so generally what we do is with these, Dan, is we go through each team. So I'm going to touch on some of these guys that I like and some of the fades, and please feel free to jump in.
Oh, I probably won't.
Well, you are welcome to if you'd like to.
Thank
sir,
you.
but,
I appreciate that. I know the guys that you're talking about, and I know what they can do in a full season mode. But now I'm ready to sit back and just be entertained.
All right, dude. Well, first of all, the guys that are out, because as we all know in preseason, half the battle is never having a guy take a goose egg for you because they don't have to put out lineups right before or anything else like that. Like, for example, yesterday, about 5 minutes before the game, they said Quinn Cook wasn't going to play, and I was able to quickly put Michael Kidd-Gilchrist in there for him yesterday, and he ended up being the third highest scorer on the slate. So I got lucky there, but preseason, you got to know ahead of time or really, really watch it close. So please, listeners, at Hoopball Fantasy on Twitter, and then at Joe Sarvadi, JoeSarvadi, and at Mike Apotria, MikeApotria, and we'll keep you up to date as those come around. But the guys that are out for Charlotte, right off the bat, there's no Malik Monk, no Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, and no Joe Cheeley. So 2 guards and a small forward out of the game. My 2 big plays today on Charlotte, I like the starting backcourt, Terry Rozier and Dwayne Bacon. I'm going to use both in my lineups. As everybody knows, they've handed the keys to the car and franchise over to Terry Rozier. They want to play him and Dwayne Bacon together a lot to get a lot of continuity. I believe that's going to be their starting backcourt. I read a good article about Coach Borrego. I also posted on my Twitter where he was talking about Bacon as being locked in as one of the wing players, and he's looking forward to the chemistry developing between Rozier and Bacon. So those are going to be my 2 main plays for Charlotte today. My third guy that I'm going to slice in there, because one thing, Dan, in preseason that's not real as soon as the seasons begin is pricing really doesn't matter in preseason because so many of the main guys sit and they haven't adjusted any of the pricing yet. So you generally have a hard time maxing out salary.
That was going to be my question if I was going to jump in, is so you don't really worry about trying to use up all your funds in the preseason.
Don't even look at it. And it's funny because that's the key factor once you get going is you have to be able to put in your key guys, put in your value, your mid-level. It's a whole different strategy. But in preseason, I don't even literally look at it. I think I left 12,000 on the board in my one lineup today because it's really irrelevant because of like I stated. So my third guy with Charlotte is Miles Bridges. I think he's the best player on the team. He's going to want to show out a little bit. I got to see him several times in Summer League. He was awesome. And I think I'll probably lock and load Rozier, Bacon, and Bridges in all my lineups. As far as the rest of the squad goes, I'll be fading Batum for sure. He played quite a bit in FIBA for France. So I would assume they're not going to play him a whole lot. Plus, they're fading him out. I know your favorite all-time player, Marvin Williams, is in this game, Dan.
Yeah.
But
listen, wait, I got to jump in on this one because it has nothing to do with DFS. This may officially finally be the year that I'm no longer on the Marvin Williams train because they finally are going young. They've decided it's time. They're the BS that they had running out there for the last half decade of firing on all cylinders to try to get to a 500 record. That required Marvin Williams to be playing 30 minutes a game. I just don't think that he gets to that threshold. And as I've said a million times on for the full season guys, the old men of the NBA, the guys that I generally target in a 9-cat format, those guys need to be on the floor for 30 minutes because they're not high usage guys. So they have to be, they just have to exist for a long period of time to get to the numbers that you need. So during the regular season, no, I'm sadly, I love my Marvin, but unless he gets moved to someplace where he would be a starting power forward, I'm off his train this year.
Oh man, I hope this
sad times.
I hope Marvin isn't able to pick up this podcast.
It's all right. He knows I still love him.
Devastated.
He knows I still love him. I still love Marvin. I still love Nico, even though he's not in the U.S. anymore. my guy Darren Collison, who's just going door to door these days instead. These guys are still in my heart. They're just not on my fantasy teams.
That's good, man. Well, hey, you're loyal if nothing else, my man. That's what I can say. But so Marvin took a shot to the head in practice yesterday, and so he's a game time decision. So certainly not going to use him. The whole Zeller, Biyombo, Hernan Gomez, PJ Washington mixture at center and power forward, I'm not going to touch. I think they'll slice and dice up some minutes. So that's it with Charlotte. Let's move over to the Celtics, the other team that they'll be playing. I'm definitely going to use Kemba Walker. He's not going to be in my top position on FanDuel, the captain mode or the second where you get double the points or 1.5 times the points. But I am going to use Kemba. I think, obviously, he was our key guy on FIBA. And, I would assume Coach Stevens will want Kemba to, get limited minutes, and at least initially, to make sure he's not tired as the season begins. But it is against, his old mates, and I think that he's going to want to show out, especially it's in Boston at TD Garden. So I'm going to use Kemba for sure. And then really after that, the two guys that I like best for the Celtics, and again, they're not high salary guys, but I think that they're going to take advantage of this opportunity in the preseason. I'll be using them quite a bit, and they'll definitely be in my lineups today, and that's Carson Edwards, who the first round pick for the Celtics out of Purdue that had the great NCAA tournament. He's really working on that backup point guard position behind Kemba. If Marcus is going to play some too, they're all sort of mixed time. And he, watching him in the summer league, that dude is not shy, Dan. I don't know if you've seen any Carson Edwards much, but he is like Curry.
Didn't he used to host the Daily Show?
No, that's Carson Daly.
Oh, my mistake. I apologize. This is why you got me here, right? To be the clown.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks.
You're something. But Carson Edwards, he's about a 5'10" shooting guard out, but he plays point. He probably would fit better too, but he's so small. But the dude can just flat out fill it up. So I think he'll take advantage of his minutes on the court. Like I say, I think he'll be out there because Marcus Smart is a game time decision. I doubt he'll play if at all. So Edwards is a key guy. My second and third guys, actually, I'm going to give you two more. And they're both named Williams. So you don't get both just by saying Williams. But I like Grant Williams. He was their 22nd overall pick in the first round, another rookie out of Tennessee. He, again, was really impressive in the summer league. He's a hustler. And I read Stevens making some comments about him being able to actually crack into the bottom part of that rotation. So he's going to be playing his ass off out there. And I think with other guys not playing, as many minutes like the Tatums and Haywards and Browns, I think Grant Williams is going to take advantage and be a real sneaky guy that can get you some points. So he'll be in a portion of my lineups. And then the other guy is the center, Robert Williams, another Celtic guy that's young, played summer league, looks really good, just looks like a smart player out there that understands the game. Center right now is being split between Canner, Daniel Tice, and Robert Williams for when the regular season comes around. So, yeah, Canner will get some minutes, but everybody knows he's the worst defensive center in the league. And Williams is a shot blocker. So I think we're going to see a good preseason and hopefully a good game from him today at center. So, that's where I'm going. I'm fading a lot of the big money guys like Brown, Tatum, and Hayward, and going to concentrate more on Kemba, Edwards, and both Williams. Not Marvin Williams, Grant Williams, and Robert Williams. So how's that for enough Williams for you?
That's enough Williams for me.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. My job here is really just to let you take a breath every once in a while. I hope people are catching on with that. You feel you're ready to go again?
That's it, man. Well, I mean, I think that's that's where we are. I mean, the bottom line is, we got a 1-game slate. There's contests on both DraftKings and FanDuel, and hopefully you can utilize those picks. And I'm sure Mr. Apotria will be back tomorrow when we get the technical glitches taken care of. This week is going to be awesome, though, Dan. We've got 4 games on Monday, 5 on Tuesday, 5 Wednesday, 5 Thursday. So
wow.
Perfect size slates for Mr. Apotria and I to slice and dice. And then we also, do you want to give a little announcement about our third guy in the mix, Mr. Andrew, that will be filling in when Mike and I have some days off, if we have any?
Really excited about the fact that we have 3 voices for this podcast. That's going to go such a long way into maintaining the schedule, which is a really big deal, making sure that, Coach, you announced this already, but this is a 7-day-a-week show. This is how you make a ton of money in DFS. Andrew Hansen is going to be the third voice on this show. He'll be making his show debut on Thursday's episode. He is at Language Olympic on Twitter if you want to give him a follow. So that 3 guys here, at Joe Sarvadi, obviously, that's you. At Mike Apotria, Apotria, at Language Olympic, that's Andrew. You'll hear from him on Thursday. By the way, if folks were wondering what it sounds like when Dan is completely out of his depth on a topic, this show is a perfect example of that. It's me sitting back going, yeah, Coach, every time it's my turn to talk. I'm basically like Jason Bateman's character in Dodgeball.
Oh my God! No, you're still the king. We know you're the OG, man. There's no pretending. We all know.
Well,
that,
I mean, I can do promos well. I can handle the promo part. It's everything else that's tough for me.
Well, hey, I'm telling you, by the All-Star break, you're going to be on here chit-chatting, making money like the rest of us.
What's the in-between point between a fish and a shark for DFS? Because right now I'm definitely a guppy, and I'd like to get to like what's in between those two is like a bass. I'll be satisfied if I'm like a big mouth bass by the All-Star break.
Well, yeah, if we can get you from a guppy, to up koi. To that, nice big perch, bass, whatever. Then we'll get you into the dolphin stage.
Oh, dolphin stage. That sounds fun.
Yes, and then you can join the shark team. How's that?
That sounds great. Can I be a koi somewhere in there?
We can't do that. How about a manatee? That'll work.
That feels like that should be beyond shark, like the big bopper in the room.
Well, then I'll take that role since I'm the biggest size guy anyway.
Coach, your team manatee. I like that.
Team manatee, Coach Manatee. I love this, and I'm not. I hope I can keep this up. But the guys on Twitter the last 2 days have been calling me Coach Cash.
Yeah, you
How about that?
I like that. That's got a nice ring to it.
Keep that going. Yeah,
Coach Cash.
Coach Cash, dude. So
I think that's what the Tampa Bay Rays call their coach, but you can have it too.
Well, that's his real name.
Yeah, thank you. I went baseball subtle with that one. Thank you. I didn't know if that one would land quite right. Coach, thanks for letting me sit and watch you today.
It's been a blast, man. I remember, listeners, please, if you can, take time. You can catch all of our podcasts on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeart, Spotify, YouTube, everywhere podcasts are found. Take a few seconds, if you would, for us. 5 stars, likes, positive reviews. That really helps us. And, Dan has been really the quarterback getting this all together for us. And Fantasy Draft is really stepped up. And we really feel we bring the best daily free information in the DFS world out there. And so, we appreciate when you take the time and, keep our sponsors happy with some good reviews. So we look forward to that, man. And look us up on Twitter, hoop-ball.com forum. Stay on that at Hoopball Fantasy for all the updates. But that's about it, man. You have anything else, Dan?
No, I'm good.
All right, man. Well, thank you for joining us for Hoopball NBA DFS today. For the OG the manatee, the shark himself, Dan Besbris. I am Coach, and we will catch you tomorrow on another day where we're going to go out there and crush it in the DFS world. Thanks. Have a great one.
This has been a Hoop Ball presentation.